Sonia. How are you? Good. I'm doing great also. So today I'm doing a live Q&A. Some people sent in questions or gave me questions. And so I'm going to answer those questions live, and then I'll save this video for those who aren't able to tune in. I know it's a Wednesday night, so I am going to pull up these questions. I gotta find these questions. Let's see here. What's weird is I started this live, and then I created the live on my phone, so then I went on my computer to try to start the live, and I couldn't start it from my computer, so I had to put my phone up. So I'm on my phone instead of my computer, which I would have preferred to be on my computer, but I don't know. And I didn't want to use StreamYard because StreamYard, I've noticed my watch time hours are better when I'm not on StreamYard, and so until I get monetized, I'll keep using just the regular YouTube live, and then once I get monetized, then I'll start using StreamYard again, because I like StreamYard because you can have people on there and all that. But I am going to use StreamYard for my Wind Down Wednesdays, which I will have another Wind Down Wednesday starting next week. It'll be me, and then I may have some of my friends pop in on that one. And then I'm working on having guests on the future Wind Down Wednesdays. So I'll be trying to have different guests on as well. I'm trying to pull up these questions. Hello, everyone. I see some people popping in. If you're not able to join the chat, I understand. Thank you for viewing. Just be sure to like and share out. So in just probably a few minutes, I'm gonna get these questions going. The one thing I like about StreamYard is that it's more interactive. YouTube needs to step up their live game so that we don't have to use StreamYard, but we'll go with it for now. Hope everyone has had a great day, having a good evening as well. I'm just pulling up these questions. I had to go back so I could find the questions that people left on my comments as well. I should have had this pulled up already, but I went to the gym, and I went later than I meant to, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. So I came home, showered really quick, and so here we are. All right, so let's see. 1 second, I almost got it. Almost got them. I didn't have time to check back on my Instagram to see if any other questions were added. But if they were, then I'll answer them in like a video or something. All right, so I'm gonna get started with these questions. Hopefully we'll get some more people able to tune in. If not, you can catch the replay. So one of the questions was what made me start YouTube? So I will say I started my YouTube channel a long time ago, but when I first started, it was mostly for music, and it was a different channel. Hello, it's Lady Kinsey. How are you? Thank you for joining in. So I started YouTube, and it was mostly a music channel. Like I was following a lot of the music YouTubers. This was way back in the day, several years ago, probably like 7 years ago. And then, but this was a different channel. I'm well. Thank you for asking. I hope you've had a great day. And so after that, I deleted that channel, and then I started this channel. It was kind of a personal channel. I had music videos, stuff like that on here as well. And then, but as far as a mukbang channel, what really got me started with it was B Love's video popped up in my feed, and I did not watch YouTube videos at all. Hey, the Bud Files, how are you? I didn't watch mukbang videos at all, and somehow YouTube pushed out B Love's videos in my recommendations, and I started watching her videos, and I was like, this is interesting. Her personality, and then just eating, and I was like, I like food. I like recording and stuff like that. So when the shutdown happened, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and start my mukbang channel. And so that's when I started. I did my very first mukbang, and then I started doing videos. A lot of those videos you can't see on my channel anymore because they're like 2 years old, and so they don't really count towards like my monetization or anything, so I just put those private. But that's when I started doing mukbangs. Another question someone gave me was, are you dating? So, am I dating? Good question. Currently, right now, I am not dating. And really, the reason why I'm not dating is because I work so much. How am I going to meet people when I work so much? And I feel like most of the time, even with work, I'm around more women. And every now and then you have men that are a part of it or whatever, but you meet like married people and stuff like that. And so I just work a lot. And so, or I go spend time with friends or family. And so I feel like I'm not in the position to date. So I feel like at this point, in order for me to start dating again, I would just have to meet somebody just in a grocery store or at the gym or places that I frequently hang out. And I feel like that would be cool anyway, because then we had things in common. So, but yeah, I'm not dating currently. Another question was, do I plan on having kids one day? Well, that's a great question. And Sonia, I believe you asked that question. That's a great question. Really, at this point, it's up to God if I ever have a child. I will say this, I wasn't ever really, like, I can't say that when I was younger, I was always like, I'm gonna be a mom, I'm gonna be a mom. Like, I was never one that just said, you know, I have to be a mom, I have to be a mom. That wasn't me. Growing up and like in college and stuff, sometimes I was like, you know what, I don't know if I even want to have kids. And so, and then kind of nowadays, I always say if it were meant to be, it would happen. And I'm getting older as well. And so, really, if it's meant to be, it will happen. Also, I'd rather it be with somebody I'm with, and not just have a child and then you're not with the person. But those things, sometimes you don't know how those things are going to end up either. So do I plan on having kids? That's one of those questions where I can't really say yes or no, because you can have all the plans in the world and they can happen or they may not happen. And so but I would be open to it, I'll say that. What is my favorite food? Well, I have a lot of favorite foods. I will say, first off, anything my mom cooks is a favorite food because she's a really good cook. But as far as like different types of cuisines, I'd say probably the top two for me would be like Mexican food, like tacos, enchiladas, rice and beans, and then seafood like crab legs. And I don't know, Asian food is up there too, because yeah. But then I like soul food as well. So I have a lot of favorite foods, but those are some that I would always enjoy. Let's see. How often do I work out? Well, a lot more recently. I will say, before I moved to the Dallas area, I used to live in Las Vegas, and I used to work out a lot more then, probably 6 to 7 days a week. Nowadays, I'm trying to get back into working out, not 6 to 7 days a week, but at the very least 5 days a week. Last week I did 6 days. This week so far, I've done 3, so tomorrow would be 4 days. So I'll probably do 5 days this week, maybe 6 if I think I'm gonna get to that. So about 4 days, 5 days. Hey, K Lives Matter, how are you? Hope you guys have had a great day. Thank you for joining in. So yeah, my goal right now is 5 days a week of workouts. My favorite colors, what's my favorite color? So I have about 3 favorite colors, and I like a lot of colors, but if I had to say that I had a favorite color, I have 3. Green is one of my favorite colors. My bedroom is like a mixture of greens, grays, and blues. I like trees and greenery, so green is one of my favorite colors. It reminds me of life and flourishing and all of that. 2 of my other favorite colors are pink, like the Crayola regular pink, not the light pink, but the Crayola pink, like more of a, well, I say like a fuchsia pink maybe, or magenta, that color. And then the third one is a blue, and I'll say like this color blue. So those 3 colors, I love those kind of colors. Let's see. Another question was, what do I look for in a partner? What do I look for in a partner? Well, there's several things that I look for in a partner. But as I've gotten older, so if you didn't know, I am 40. I turned 40 July 26th, this summer. And so now that I've gotten older, I will say that I'm a lot more sure about what I look for. I don't think I have a type. I don't think I've ever really had a type. Because when I think about relationships that I've had or people that I've dated, there were differences as far as looks wise. I couldn't really say that they all fit under one umbrella. But what I look for, first of all, I just look for someone who is kind. In social settings, like if we go to a restaurant, how do you treat the waitress? How do you treat the custodian? How do you treat the flight attendant? Like I like to see how kind you are. And because the way you treat other people you're eventually going to treat me that way in some way. I'm not one of those that will say, oh, he's just mean to those people, but he's not going to be mean to me. So kindness is a big one. Genuine kindness. Also, faith, having a belief system, having morale, because I feel like those help you treat people with kindness. Also, someone who loves to travel. It would be really hard for me to date somebody who is a homebody and doesn't like to do things or doesn't like to travel. I will go anywhere if I can. And so it would be really hard if somebody doesn't enjoy that, because then I would feel like I'm always having to leave that person behind. So I look for that. Another thing that I look for in a partner is, does he have male friends that are strong accountability partners for him, or other males in his life that he talks to about things? That's really important. I don't want to date anybody who says I don't have friends, or I don't need friends, because I have friends, and I don't call everybody a friend. Like my best friends I could count on one hand, but I have women that I can talk to, go have lunch with, go take a trip with. I feel like he needs that too, because I don't want that kind of relationship where he just relies on me to occupy his time, because that can become like a controlling situation or things like that. Like, I want to see you go hang out with your fellas. I want to see you have somebody that you can chop it up with, or go to a basketball game with, or whatever you do, have a friend. And so I look for that. And again, as I've gotten older, these are things that I just, I think after previous relationships, they're things that I really look for now based on experience with people and other relationships. Also, how do you treat your family? I know that sometimes you can't control the family you come from, and you may come from a family that didn't treat you well or things like that. But I do look for, like, are you healed from that? Even if you came from a family that was broken or things like that, what steps have you taken to make sure that you've healed? Because those things can be traumatic, and sometimes people don't deal with it when they should. What else? Doesn't take life too seriously, but knows when to take life seriously, if that makes sense. So being able to laugh, play around, joke around, but also knows when to be serious and how to have thoughtful conversations, talk about serious things, doesn't run from uncomfortable conversations, someone who knows how to communicate and will have conversations and talk about things. Also someone who's not afraid to express their thoughts or their feelings. I don't expect someone to cry out on my shoulder all the time, but at least be expressive, because I feel like when you hold that stuff in, it comes out, and so a lot of times in the wrong way. So that's the gist of it. A lot of those things are internal. If I were to say, like, externally, I just feel like we just need to have an attraction. I can't really tell you he should be this tall, this big, or this skin color, or this or that. But it should be based on, we have an attraction, we have a connection. So that's the gist of it. There's more, but that's the gist of it. Let's see. Another question was, what are my YouTube goals? My YouTube goals. So one of my YouTube goals is to make sure that my channel reflects more of me, and less of just trying to get subscribers and things like that. I think there has to be a balance there. For example, I've been kind of like battling with myself about the different foods that I'm putting on my channel and things like that. Because you know, on a mukbang channel, people like to see big spreads of food, big meals, a lot of food, or this or that. And the thing about it is I'm trying to go on a more healthy route and get back to where I was, which was eating right, working out, taking care of my body and things like that. And so the challenge with that is I'm not going to be eating all of those foods anymore. And it's not to say that I'm never going to eat them, just not so much. Because we all have times where we just want something like pizza or whatever, or ice cream, whatever. So it's not that I won't ever eat those foods. It just won't be the focus of my channel. And so I've been trying to figure that out. So I guess one of my goals is to figure that out, how to find that balance on my channel. Another goal is to go live more often, which having like a Wednesday live like this, I'm going to have my wind down Wednesdays again starting next week. And so I'll put out little promo for that. And so having those weekly lives. So one of the goals is to have the wind down Wednesday live, and then to have one live during the week where I go live during the day and just like talk about inspirational things, maybe talk about popular news, my take on things going on in the news or whatever it might be. So that's another goal. Right now, a goal is to get monetized. So I appreciate those who have been running my playlist, because that helps a lot. Going live like this also helps with monetization. But as far as like goals to be a big YouTuber or this or that, like I feel like I can't really set a goal for that. I feel like if it's meant to happen, if I'm putting in work and I'm being consistent, if it's meant to happen, then it will happen. But I want it to happen with me doing things that I enjoy and not feeling like I have to eat all this food, eat all this food. So I don't know, because there's a YouTuber who has gotten like really unhealthy, and this YouTuber has millions of subscribers. And I look at the way that YouTuber's channel was when it originally began and where it is now. There's so many subscribers, and I'm sure that YouTuber is making a lot of money and has multiple channels and all that. But I don't want to have health issues or things like that trying to be popular, trying to get subscribers. And so I just want to be authentic and grow authentically, doing things that I enjoy. Also, I'll share more of my music. That's a goal I am working on, and so I'll share more of that. And then my last goal for YouTube is to create a second channel for vlogging, because I want to make sure I kind of have those two channels separately. I've been putting a few vlogs on this channel, and I have 2 other vlogs that I've been thinking about. Should I put them on this channel or just go ahead and start the vlog channel? I think I'm going to go ahead and start the vlog channel so that when I get to December, I want to do Vlogmas. And so I'll do Vlogmas on a new channel. That way I can kind of keep the mukbang separate from the vlogging kind of lifestyle channel. So those are pretty much my goals right now. So I hope that answers that question. Lady Kenzie, yes. I was trying not to say name, but yes. Yeah, I just don't want to go there because, you know, it probably feels good to make a lot of money from YouTube and to be able to live off of YouTube. But I feel like we also have to put ourselves first, because at the end of the day, if everything shut off and all technology went away and everything crashed for months or a year, whatever, you still have to live with yourself. And so I just keep that in mind. But yes, Lady Kenzie, for sure. Let me see other questions. Let me go back. Hold on. What is my biggest fear? Ooh, that's a good question. My biggest fear. One of my biggest fears is losing loved ones again, like close loved ones, or even like close friends. I've talked about losing my sister to cancer. My grandmother passed away over a year ago. In 2014, there was like 4 people back to back. My dad's mom, my other grandma, my one of my childhood friends, one of my college best friends, and then my brother-in-law, all in 1 year. So that is probably what I fear most. Like that kind of pain and heartache of losing loved ones. I hate that feeling. And just getting back to yourself, going through all those stages of grief, that's probably the biggest fear. I know people don't like to hear this, and especially like my parents or like my sister, they don't like to hear this, but I used to always say, I'd rather go first than to lose my mom and dad, to lose my sister. And I know it's not funny, but I'd rather go first just because, so I wouldn't have to go through that pain. But I know that that would cause them pain. But of course, I want to live a long life. I just hate even thinking about losing loved ones. So that's my biggest fear. If we talk about like fear, just in general, I hate spiders. Like, I'm always afraid that they would jump on me. Like spiders are a fear. I don't have a fear of heights or anything like that. But yeah. Let's see. Lady Kenzie, I'll check out your channel for sure. You do mukbangs? Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely check out your channel. Also, if you guys think of any other questions that I haven't answered, you can type them in the chat and I'll answer them as well. Let me see which other questions I have. That one I already answered. Have I ever met a celebrity? Yeah, several celebrities actually. So the great thing about living in Las Vegas, I lived in Las Vegas for 9 years, from 2009 to 2015. And the great thing about living there is you can go to, especially if you're a woman, you can get into a lot of places, oftentimes free if you get there before a certain time. But you have celebrities that just pop up and for different things. I posted a picture on my Instagram wishing MC Light a happy birthday. I met her like 3 times. She used to host these events right before the Soul Train Music Awards. She would host these events where you could get tickets, and they were free tickets, and she had a panel that you could sit and listen to and ask questions, and then she would always make her rounds and like take pictures with you, and you got to meet her. Well, one of those events, a friend of mine, she had this plug and she got me into a private party of MC Lights. And so I was on the list somehow. And so I was able to add a guest. So I added one of my best friends, Tasha, on the list. And so we went to this like penthouse suite in this hotel. And she was having a private party. When we got there, it was only a few people there. MC Light wasn't there yet. They were still at the Soul Train Awards. And then a little bit later, when the awards were over, they all started showing up. So I met MC Light. I met Little Mama. I met Raheem Devon. These are all like singers and stuff. Who else did I meet? I was in the elevator with Life Jennings. Also, one year I won a New Year's Eve contest. And so it was basically, I won a VIP section. I was able to invite like 8 people. And Brandy was the one that was going to be the host of that. And so I was able to meet Brandy. I've posted that picture a few times. I'll have to post it again. And prayers to her, because right now she's she had a seizure. I guess it was due to like dehydration and lack of nutrition, but she's recovering. So prayers to Brandy. I met her. Who else have I met? It's been a lot of people. Some I can't. I met Master P and his son Romeo. That's a cool story. I don't know if I've shared that story. I'll have to share it in another video. Who else? There's been several people. I just can't think of all the names. But yeah, that was one of the things about living in Vegas. You often, if you were active in going to places and going to events and stuff like that, you'll meet people. Have I met any celebrities here in Dallas? Oh, I met India Ari. A friend of mine was dating a guy that was actually a producer for India Ari back in the day when she first started, and he's still really good friends with her. So anytime she comes in town, she always lets him know and she gives him tickets. And so he invited her, and she was able to invite me and another friend. So and then after the concert, we went backstage, and it was cool to see him talking and interacting with her because they're friends. It was like they were just talking like we would talk to our friends. So it was kind of cool. But just to meet her, that was cool as well. She's very regal, by the way. She walks in a room, she walks in with a presence, just very spiritual presence and regal. So who else? I'm trying to think, did I meet anyone else here? Master P and Romeo I actually met here. So yeah, I have met celebrities. Let's see. Any other questions on here that I haven't asked? What is my favorite TV show? Favorite TV show? That one's hard. That one's hard. So I'm gonna go back to back in the day. I had several favorite TV shows. I feel like TV was like the bomb back in like the 90s and early 2000s. There used to be like TGIF. Y'all remember like the Friday shows that had like Boy Meets World and Step by Step, like all these shows. But I also my favorite shows were like Living Single, and then was it Undercover Cop, Martin, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Those were some of my favorite shows to watch. Let's see. There were so many great shows. Family Matters, Full House. Like I feel like we had the best shows back then. Also, like, this show aired before I was born, but I watched the whole season later on, which is Good Times. That was a great show. Good Times was a good show. But present day shows, present day shows. What are some of y'all's favorite shows? I'm trying to think. Currently, because I don't know that I watch a whole lot of shows on TV these days. There was a show that's really silly, but I used to watch it after work because I felt like work, I was always having to be serious and think a lot. And so this show just made me just laugh. And so I used to watch The Big Bang Theory after work. So, hey, Sincere Team. Thank you. Good night, Treasure. Thank you for popping in. I know these Wednesday nights, people are on parent duties and busy, so, but I wanted to make sure, I kept saying I was going to do a Q&A, so I wanted to make sure I got these done. Kenzie, you like to watch wrestling, Nickelodeon. Yeah, Nickelodeon had some good shows too. I used to watch like All That and stuff like that. Thank you, Sincere Team. Thank you, Trudy Lee. Sending love to you too. Let's see. I'll answer one more question. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Where do I see myself in 5 years? In 5 years, I see myself probably living in a different area. So right now I live in DeSoto, Texas, which is pretty much Dallas, Texas. Is just outside of Dallas. It's a suburb of Dallas. And with my job that I have now, I have to travel a lot. So I want to move a little bit closer to where I'm kind of in between both airports. So Dallas has a major airport, which is the Dallas-Fort Worth DFW airport. And then there's also a second airport, which is Dallas Love Field. So if you fly Southwest, you would fly from Dallas Love Field. But if you fly like American, Delta, and all of that, you typically would fly out of DFW. And so I would like to move so I'm between both airports and don't have to drive as far. They're not like super far, but I'd rather be a little bit closer, so when I have like late flights coming back from work trips, I'm not having to drive as far. So I definitely will have moved within the 5 years. Hopefully either married or engaged within 5 years. That's also one of the things. I won't say that's a goal. I feel like to say that's a goal is kind of weird, but I'd say that's where I would see myself in 5 years. With a child, possibly. Really, that depends on God. In 5 years, I would say definitely my channel is where I want it to be on YouTube, as far as I'm doing exactly what I want to do. And just growing. 5 years also. Maybe starting some type of business. I've always wanted to have a business. I've had a business before, but I started it right before I was about to move from Vegas. And so when I moved here, I let go of that business. So I would like to start a business again, whether it's some side hustle or thing like that. I have some ideas. And then lastly, in 5 years, I would like to have published a book. So yeah, that's pretty much it right now. There's probably other things, but those are the main ones I could think of right now. So thank you guys for those who were able to tune into my Q&A. Like I said, I will save this video because I did have some people reach out to me saying they weren't able to join the live due to like having to do other things, which I get because, you know, it's Wednesday night and it's late. So, but I wanted to go ahead and do this because I said I was going to do it. And next week, I'm going to be doing my wind down Wednesday. So I didn't want to do that with the Q&A. So I wanted to get this over with. So yeah, I might do another one down the road because, you know, those that did not get to ask me questions may think of more questions to ask me. And so I appreciate those who were able to tune in. I hope you guys have a good, great, awesome, fantastic night. Rest well. And also, as you go into the weekend, I hope your weekend is fun. Do something that makes you smile, not small. Do something that makes you smile and laugh and enjoy something that's for you and your family, or just for you, whatever you want to do this weekend. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel as well. Like I said, I'm still working on monetization, so I appreciate those of you who have been running my playlist. So if you haven't, continue to run. I'll put it in the description box once this video goes back live and you guys can view it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you guys have a good night. Good night, guys.